Howdy, howdy, howdy. It is Dr. Shane. I thank you for joining me. I know I say morning chats, but I should say afternoon or evening chats because it definitely is evening. But we are going to talk to you about our ongoing conversation about the power of acknowledgement. The power of acknowledgement. I got to give a shout out to a client today. She's like, keep doing those, keep doing those. And I was like, why? She said, you hear our conversation tonight? I said, yeah. She said, keep doing those. I was like, wow, this couple sat down and they just had the best conversation. I was completely blown away. They're going to fire me soon. So I know you're listening. I won't say your name, but I look forward to the day that I get fired. Seriously, my best day of the week when clients fire me. So I am going to talk to you about what happens when we don't acknowledge each other, when we say, no, it's just you. It is just you. So I had this couple today. Not today. Let's say today, 3 months ago, right? And so we're in the conversation, and they're new. I had to threaten to fire me out. I swear to God, just being honest with you. So what happened was this: like we're talking, and then he goes off, and I do all the right things. You don't do nothing. And she's like, "Are you crazy? I do all the right things. You don't do nothing." And they're going after each other. And then she says rather, well, it's like my son. They have sons from children from another marriage. You don't spend any time with him. You don't talk to him. And I think, boy, she got him right. And he comes back and he says, your son's antisocial. He's been antisocial. He don't speak to nobody, and you're blaming all of this. I mean, he don't even speak to you. He is just the loner introvert type. And I'm thinking she's gonna say, "Well, yeah, that's important." She say, "See, you don't care. It's nothing about you." Da da da. And they just disagree on everything. They don't acknowledge each other on anything, and it got crazy. And I don't let conversations get crazy too often. All of you guys that have been in my session know I don't. And at the end of the conversation, I said, "Look, if you guys come back and you do that, it's not going to work. If you come back, know you have to stop and acknowledge each other." So how do you know you're not acknowledging each other? If you're talking for more than a 3 minute clip, you're not acknowledging each other. If you're talking for 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 20 minutes at a time, you are having a monologue. You are not having a dialogue because they can't even respond. If you're going off after point after point after point, because I'll tell you what happens. Point one, they say, okay, that's interesting. Point two, they'll be like, okay, you didn't hear me when I talked about this last time. Point three, okay, this is what we're doing. By the time we get to point eight, they're glazed over. We think they don't care. So I'm saying to you all, you have to stop and acknowledge. And this couple didn't. And I was like, I'm trained to do something other than this. I have no interest in this. You can't pay me to be in the room with this. And I say it because it's not going to work. And they're going to say, I didn't work. And the truth of the matter is, they wouldn't let anything work. They both had, get this, 3 divorces. So if you want to be a marriage disaster instead of a marriage master, you'll say none of this stuff applies to me. I don't have to acknowledge anything you're saying. No, I didn't say you had to agree. I said you had to acknowledge. I'm not acknowledging nothing that you say. You could think that. You could say it's just them. I've never heard a relationship where it wasn't a two-way street. And even if it just started one way, it became two because we kept traveling down that road and fighting back and forth, and it became a two-way street. So I'm going to say 3 reasons why ignoring this stuff will kill you. 3 reasons why ignoring this will kill you. The first thing is 93% of the time, y'all know me, a few things are 93% of the time, if we start a conversation off with a criticism about their character, ends in an argument. That's research. Yeah, a few things are 93% of the time. 93% of the time, if we start off with criticism, that's one reason. So once we start out with that criticism, the second thing is this. Boop, 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 boop. Blood pressure is going up. Once we get past 110 beats a minute, the blood goes to the reptile brain. we don't take in new information, so we don't even hear what they say. So if you are in a conversation, I got to go to the browser. First of all, tell me who you are, where you're from, who's on this call, where y'all from, right? So the next thing I want you to do is say reptile brain or RB. So if you say something and your other person says, I'm just calling BS, or there's nothing to that, or there you go, just lying again, stop talking. Just get up and leave. Because we're not going anywhere. And if you're saying that, you're saying something worse than you think. What do I mean by that, right? So if you tell me how I feel, how you feel, rather, and I say there's nothing to that, something happens and then you can't imagine out there. What happens is, what dies is the sense that you're going to fix it, the sense that this is going to change. And now I have to make the decision, can I live my life like that? And if it's major to me, I can't live my life like that. I'm not going to live my life like that. And we're just short. We got a problem that we can't get fixed. So I'm just saying that to say to you, hey, you got to acknowledge what they say. If you disregard it, they're saying, okay, I can't live like this. Every time I'm with my boys, you're just going to fly off the handle on me. When I tell you, you say that's just BS. Or every time we're at your coworker's party, after that first drink, you start looking at me side eye. Second drink, I'm totally drunk at the thing, saying, well, you need to deal with it. Let me be who I am. It was drinking too. It's over. Because you're going to go to the wrong party. It's going to be over. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So once it goes to the reptile brain, we're in basic instinct, fight or flight. Either we're going to shut down or have a big fight. But we can't take in new information, so we can't resolve the conflict. Can't resolve it. It doesn't go to the frontal lobe, but we make executive decisions. Third thing, divorce is an option and a likelihood. If we are not going to acknowledge anything that they do, we are going to have some problems. And we're going to have big problems that we can't resolve. And I want you to know, acknowledging doesn't mean agreement. Two different things. So you can acknowledge, you don't have to agree. I asked most couples, say, do y'all know whose side I was on tonight? They're like, no. They don't know. I never tell them. But I'm able to move people. You don't have to agree with people to move them, but you have to acknowledge them. Anyways, this is Dr. Shane. I talked to one of my clients, and she was talking about this, and she was like, keep doing those. And after she had that conversation with her husband and that, like, boom, girl, you did it. You did the thing. Anyways, it's Dr. Shane. Thank you for joining me. Power of Acknowledgement. We got one more session on it tomorrow where we will talk about it and we will wrap things up. But tonight is what happens when we don't acknowledge and we don't take advantage of harnessing into that power. All right, you guys, if you like what you heard, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, I'll take a thumbs down. Boop, boop. Sometimes I get two. People will be like, why do you give me 2 thumbs out? Because it hurt. Anyways, share with 3 friends. I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.